Can you think of a person in your life who does things that bother you over and over? And sometimes you just want to shake them and be like, why can't you get this? Why do you keep doing this? That's how I feel when I read the book of Numbers and the Israelites wandering for the 40 years in the wilderness. And I just want to shake them and be like, don't you see the hand of God on your lives? God has set you apart, made you his own people. He's protected you. He's provided for you. Why are you still complaining? Why are you making idols? Why are you doing this, that, and the other? Why does it have to be your way? And then I realized, I do the exact same things. But thank God that he has provided a way of escape. I love what Paul says in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. He tells the Corinthian church that these things in the books of the law were written for our admonition and our learning. And when I go back and I study the Old Testament, I can't help but be filled with wonder and awe for how God protected his people. Even when they complained, God showed judgment. Don't get me wrong. He showed his hand of judgment in the wilderness, but he also showed that he's a God of mercy. And when you even think about how the way the camp was set up, I want to show you a picture here. But this is the way that the camp was set up, to where it looked like the cross that Jesus would later die on. This tells me that God, who is the master planner, the one who knows the end from the beginning, he knew exactly what he was doing when the camps were set up around the tabernacle, where the high priest would go and give offering on behalf of the people's sins. What he was later doing in having his own son Jesus be the propitiation or the sacrifice for us to be in relationship with God. And I can't help but think this God who is so detailed, even to the colors and the threads that were picked for building the tabernacle, that all point to Jesus, that he has a specific and perfect plan for you and I in the new covenant now. All of this is part of our road to the promised land. And we can either doubt or question God for years and years and years. We can rebel and do things our way and make idols like social media for me, or reality TV, if you want to call it that. Things that I've put in place of God. It can even be good things like family or the money you have or anything that we put in place of God. We can allow those things to get in the way and prolong our progress to actually receiving everything that God has promised us, or we can just be in awe and wonder of who God is, knowing that he has the blueprint of our lives. He knows, and as we take steps of obedience, in the same way that God led the Israelites with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, we now have the Holy Spirit that leads us in our next steps of what to do. We may not see the full picture on the road to the promised land, but we know the next step by the leading of the Holy Spirit. And that is how we can continue to walk in victory along the path to receiving everything that God has and everything that he's promised us. I'll talk to you guys soon.